Hello, beloved. Welcome to A Seer's World. This will be your message from the divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those keen or interested in becoming Patreon members, on my Patreon, I offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as ancestral lineage readings. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career, and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer one-on-one sessions slash life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly, and you can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. Okay, without further ado, let us tap in to this energy. Let us tap into this message. Let us talk to the divine, okay? Let's see what this is about. So I'm channeling at this time as I'm tapping into the energy. I'm seeing somebody, right? Um pacing up and down. But the environment that they're in as they're pacing up and down is very messy, filthy, dirty. There's blood on the floor, right? But it's like spilled cups of blood, right? That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing spilled cups of blood in someone's environment as they're pacing up and down, fearful, scared, paranoid, and anxious. Okay, that's the energy. We have the Six of Wands. Okay, we have the Six of Wands energy here. Let's see what this is. Give me more energy. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Let's see. We have the Strength. Okay, we have the Strength. So Six of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and the Strength energy. Something terrible is happening to somebody. Something terrible is happening to somebody. Something horrendous, horrific, just terrible. This is somebody who has a reputation to maintain or an image to uphold. They have some form of status that they need to keep up, status quo. Okay, they have some form of caliber or clout or popularity or recognition. That energy of well known, but like somebody, they need to keep maintaining it. It's like whatever this person does, whoever they are in their world, life, and reality, it takes so much for them to keep this up. It takes so much to maintain, this image, this caliber, this reputation, this status quo. It takes so much for them to keep at it, right? This is someone who oftentimes finds themselves very depressed, They struggle with depression because whoever they've become in their world, their life, and reality, it's someone they don't want to be anymore. This is somebody who strongly just wants to abandon the person that they have become. Like they want to just escape. They want to run away from who they are. This person, when they think and feel anything towards themselves, it's very violent, aggressive, agitated, frustrated energy. When they just reflect or look in the mirror or address themselves, right? It's like someone is angry at themselves, very angry at themselves, very. This is the energy. So back to the prophetic vision I channeled in the beginning of Cups of Blood, right? I am seeing the energy here in the cards, okay? Like somebody has some form of a problem, and it's this problem is clashing with their world, their life, and reality, and who they have to be in their world, life, and reality. This is someone that can't just be like, um, okay, I'm just gonna forget this, or I'm just gonna relax and not think about this. It's like, this is someone who's in a haunted energy. There's a reason they're so angry at themselves at this time. This is someone that feels they missed out on life. Like when they look at the life that they've built, and they built it with very much, commitment and devotion, and you know they gave it they all. They really wanted to be in a certain position in the world, right? And they got what they wanted, but it's not what they wanted. They seeing it now. They thought it was what they wanted, but they seeing that it's not what they want. This was someone, when they were building this life, when they were building this reality, when they were building this world that they've created, no one could tell them anything. They thought they knew better than everybody. Everybody sit down, don't say nothing to me, don't look at me. Like this was someone who looked down on everybody once they were in a certain position in their life. They were stepping on everyone's neck, but not in a way of like someone would blatantly put people down by way of words, actions, behaviors. This was someone who would project a lot of negative thoughts and emotions, feelings towards people. They were looking down on everybody. They felt on top of the world. But that's not the energy they are in anymore. That no longer exists. It's almost like it never existed. That's how bad things are. Or that's how bad things have become. That's why they're so depressed. So depressed that they're hiding it. They don't want people to see them like that. Don't forget, imagine somebody that has treated people so ill, treated people so rudely, being mean, being malicious, just being very vindictive, or blatantly poking the bear, but in a very harsh manner, like just being a screwed up person, or somebody that has no empathy towards others, right? And then a person like this falling into depression, there will be no one that cares. This is the energy. This person hates what they've created because of what it did to them. It's like this position that they've manifested to be in life, it has turned them into a monster. And that's why they're angry at themselves. They feel like a monster. They look at themselves like a monster. Someone can't even empathize with themselves, right? Let alone another person. They can't even love on them, care for them, see themselves. They let alone do it for another person. They don't have it in them. Someone is incapable of that. This is someone who they have a lot of achievements or accolades or goals that they've attained, or passions that they've um, manifested to reality, right? They've done things for themselves that they should be proud of by way of yes, I made it, yes, I did it, yes, I'm here type of energy. But it more so feels like enslaved, like they feel enslaved to their achievements or their accolades or their goals, their passions. They just feel like a caged person. It feels like hell. It doesn't, it really, this is like, I'm seeing a prophetic vision. So let's look at this prophetic vision. The second prophetic vision that I'm channeling for this message. Let's look at it as an analogy, as a reference point, a case study, and an example. This person, don't forget back to who this person is on the table. This is someone who feels above everyone, right? Even in their worst position by way of depression and, life not turning out the way they thought it would by way of how they feel, what they think, how they're experiencing everything. They could have this and this going on, or they could have that and that going on, but experiencing it is a totally different thing for this person. They feel so dead inside, even with all of that going on. But nonetheless, that example, that analogy, that reference point, that case study, picture somebody living in a very comfortable lifestyle, right? They have everything that they need. They don't have anything that they want because they can get everything that they want. Picture somebody that has lived like that for, let's say, 10 plus years or 5 plus years, right? But in that energy, they've become a monster. They've lost the capacity or capability to treat people with respect. Everybody to them is just a fly under their shoe that they just can, I don't know, like step on at any time that they want to. Picture that person needing help, right? And they genuinely are in a position of desperation. Who is going to empathize with them? Who's going to drop what they got going on to run to this person by way of caring for them or compassion? No one. Simply put, coming back to the generalization of this person on the table by way of who they are and their energy, someone has no one by their side. They're a lone wolf or a one-man show, a one-woman show. Just they're very alone, very alone. Okay, very lonely is also what I'm channeling. We have the Five of Cups reversed. So in this Five of Cups reverse energy, you can see on the cards, they spilled cups of blood. So it's further confirming the first prophetic vision that I channeled for this message, that somebody has some form of a problem. And they feel it's something they can't tell to anyone because they have this big name that holds weight that they feel they need to protect. They need to protect this image of theirs, their reputation, their caliber, their status. They feel they need to protect you know, their face. They feel they need to protect themselves. So they can't even go to a professional for this because they feel that the professional will not be able to respect the confidentiality of what the problem is that they have. Even if they tell this doctor, doctors are obligated to the client, the client's privacy and secrecy. They need to keep quiet. But someone is so afraid, paranoid, and scared, in fear of getting help that they just don't even have it in them to trust a professional. They're suffering in silence, alone, lonely, isolated somewhere. They have no one. Absolutely like a lone wolf here. A one woman show, a one man show, like very much just it's them alone. No one knows what this person is going through in actual, truth. Whatever it is that they showing to the public eye or to anyone connected to them in any way, it's not real. It's not true. It's a lie. Like, someone is sick. Like they have a physical health problem. That's the energy. That's the blood that I'm seeing here, okay? Yeah, like something's wrong. Look at that. We have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords rules pain, but pain has levels, right? It can be excruciating, it can be mild. This person has a dark sense of humor, right? That they live with, where it's like, even if somebody would genuinely ask them, are you okay? Or try to find out by way of just caring genuinely, this person, they have this big wall. They'll literally be going through excruciating pain, agony, truly. And they would say to the person, nah, I'm hurting right now. But they wouldn't say it for what it is. Man, I'm hurting, man. Or I'm heartbroken, or it hurts right now to be me, right? But it's a dark sense of humor because it's more than that. Like they know they have a problem. They know they've fallen sick from some form of physical health problem. And this has nothing to do with STD, HIV, and AIDS or anything of sexual diseases. This is something that they've acquired due to something they've been doing by way of spiritual methods and techniques that they've tapped into within their own reality and life and world. Because look at this Three of Swords energy. Someone did something to themselves, right? It's like they put themselves in the situation. They made themselves sick. They might not have the intention or have had the intention to do so, but their habits, their lifestyle, their approach to life, it put them in this predicament. Their decisions and choices led them here. Let's tap in further to this energy. They're suffering in silence, alone, in solitude somewhere, isolated, and just very lonely. This person feels it's like this physical health problem, this physical health issue, it keeps getting worse. Nothing is changing. We have stalemate. and heartache. So a constant pain that doesn't stop, but it just keeps worsening in its condition, in its form, is also what I just heard. It just keeps getting worse in its form. This person wakes up feeling hopeless, like they wish to have it in them to expect good news or a new opportunity to find help by way of having it in them to have the courage to ask for it. But someone is too afraid, they scared, they paranoid, they anxious about letting someone know why they're this way, what has happened that made them ill, right? Sick, right? This physical health condition, problem, issue that they have going on. They fight themselves every day. They wake up feeling like, okay, let me build up the courage and the bravery to let someone in, but then they just don't. They're afraid of getting help. They don't want to get help. We have the Eight of Cups here. So with this Eight of Cups here, we have the Nine of Swords and we have the Five of Swords. This person feels like too much time has passed for them to be able to get out of this illness or sickness, this mental, this physical health issue or condition. They feel like even if they were to seek professional help, they don't want to. It's like it's a very fatal thing that this person is dealing with. They don't want to open up themselves to the possibility of being cured without guarantee, because they're afraid that they'll have to live with suicidal thoughts. Whatever this person is experiencing by way of sickness is fatal, okay? It's like something is really wrong. Something keeps happening. This person, they keep vomiting, but they vomiting blood. Like there's a room in their home that they don't go into because it's filled with blood. Like they go into that room and they just vomit. Or that was the first time it got that bad. They had to literally isolate themselves in a specific way by 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 way of isolation within a room, like having to contain it. It was out of control. This person is so terrified. The thing about it is when they go out, like when they go and have to be in public with whoever, they really put on a fake smile. It's so sad. Like they wish they had some form of counterpart, some form of person by their side, even if it's someone that has nothing to do with helping them by way of the cure or remedy or elixir or antidote, but someone who's just going to be there to comfort them. Someone is depressed, like they're afraid of going into suicidal energy. They're trying to avoid, like, oh yeah, there's possibility for me to be okay. And then they tell them, no, actually, we can't help you. And then they, that could really like kill them. Like they're afraid of that. This person's way of living has caught up to them. Like they were doing too much. Like someone was doing too much. They fell in love with the wrong things. We have the Ace of Cups reversed here. They just fell in love with the wrong things. This was someone who was heavily into some form of occultic way of living. Like they were living like an occultist. They might have not been part of a coven, they might be, but they chose to embrace occultic tradition or religion or culture. I just heard, imagine having a sickness that no one can cure because it's not something that people have knowledge about. But to me, it feels this person is just trying to avoid seeking help. They keep trying to sink themselves into the oblivion that no one is going to help them when there's so many people that have, knowledge about healing by way of not just the professional Western ways. There's people that they can traditionally heal by way of their own wisdom of, herb medicine or treatment or, ways that they can find help, but someone does not want to. Why? Like, why? They don't want to hear it, like, or have to explain. They don't want to tell the truth about what they've done in their life and why they're facing bad karma by way of physical health, bad health. Because we have the Queen of Swords to the Justice reversed. They are afraid to have to tell the whole story as to what happened, why all of a sudden were they vomiting blood. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to have to tell the person that they're seeking help from that, I was into blood sacrifices, or I was drinking animal blood by way of blood sacrifices, or I was drinking, you know, yeah, someone, you know, might have been drinking human blood as well. Like I said, someone was living a certain type of life here. They might have been drinking human blood from a fearful body. Like they yeah. So all that they've consumed by way of free will, the intention was to do it. Now it's rejecting itself in their body. It's like an example, an analogy, a reference point, a case study. You know how we all find ourselves eating so much junk at some point and we get sick and we have to clean our body because it can no longer take it. It needs clean, energy. It needs renewing. It needs treatment. You literally get sick type of energy. So coming back to the generalization of this message, this person, whatever they were ingesting, it's no longer, the body can't accept it. And they're so afraid, like, y'all, they so scared. Like, because they know what they've done. They know how they've lived their life. They know that this is what they did upon themselves. They're afraid, so scared, in fear, in shock is what I just heard. Like this person be screaming and everything when they're alone, spewing out this blood like lava. Like imagine this, just it comes out like it's like it's crazy. Like they're afraid of themselves at this time, let alone letting someone know that, yo, this is what I'm going through. They don't want people to know that. They don't want anyone to know that, because it'll raise eyebrows, and whatever reputation or image or caliber or status quo or, you know, whoever they are, and they're trying to protect that. Like they're trying to cover it up. They're trying to maintain it or keep it up. So they feel this will just, it will ruin everything. They putting themselves at risk for it's like this person can't even, we have the Two of Swords. They can't eat. They're struggling to eat. Whatever they keep putting in their body, even water, it triggers the vomiting. Whatever they've ingested within their body by way of blood, it's like a virus is inside of this person. Because they were drinking blood. Like they already have their own blood. They already have their own blood type. Ingesting other blood with already existing blood, it creates, it infuses a combination of chemicals in the body that clash with the system of the original structure of the human anatomy by way of blood vessels. It just, simply put, when they ingest blood outside of their own, it poisons their own blood. It creates poison in the body. Hence the virus. They have a virus. When this person was doing this by way of approaching life and making decisions and choices and just the lifestyle, right? This occultist religion or occultist tradition or occultist culture that they tapped into, they really devoted and committed themselves to it for a very long time. Very long. Like someone was living like this for years. This is more than 5 years. 5 years of ingesting poison. They were drinking the blood for pleasure. You understand what I'm saying? Someone was wrong for that. It's like whatever tricks they mind played on them, when they reached a certain position in their life, they thought they were untouchable or powerful or just very, they felt too high up and they lost consciousness of reality. And they just started doing things without thinking. And they were so tapped in that they lost themselves in it. It was all about pleasure. Now they have bad health, bad karma. They don't even want to talk about it. When they experience the vomiting, they just want it to end. They time it. They know already, like it triggers at this and that. They have a routine or a pattern that they live with, a system. that they live with, where they know, okay, at this time I need to be alone because it will happen, or at this time, or when I eat this, things like that. Yeah, like whatever these blood sacrifices were, and them ingesting it, could have been animal blood, human blood, however way this goes, it's rejecting itself in this person's body. That's why they sick. Someone has a virus, they've poisoned themselves, right? And it's becoming worse every day. It's worsening. It's terrible. It's horrendous. It's just horrific here. It is a very terrifying sight. Whatever room this is that they go to and just let it all out, let it happen. Yo, it's scary. They're afraid. Like, who drinks blood for pleasure? This person could be of a tribe of men or tribe of women by way of their ancestry lineage. They used to do this. Like, this person would, that's the thing, they would wake up craving blood. Like, we crave juice, we crave soda, coffee, anything really. Someone would wake up and be craving blood. It's like they would live for it. Yo, that's crazy. Like, that's wild. That's insane. They would live for it. They would look forward to it. It would be like, I can't wait for my next batch or something. I don't know. Like, they would have temperature that they would light the blood in. They would chant over the blood. It's like welcoming it into their body. Like, whoever this is very dark. Like, very dark. And they would drink, and it's not, no, it's like, they thought it was exhilarating, thrilling, just extremely, just uplifting. Yeah, liberating. It was a high. It was an experience that just, it did something to them. And they would do it all the time, like every day. When this happened, when the backfire, when the body started to reject it, when the virus had reached its peak, right? When the poison had reached its peak, it started to spew itself out. So what they vomiting is the poison. They vomiting the virus. It's coming out like blood because it was the blood that brought that forward, right? It was the blood. The blood was the poison. Yeah, we have the wheel of fortune. I'm seeing this person's way of living. um like I said, like they got very comfortable with the position of life they were in. They could have had a lot by way of material. They might have been like, I'm seeing, like, cars and jewelry or clothes or strip clubs, alcohol, drugs, like that type of lifestyle, overindulging. And they fell into a tradition, a religion, a culture of occultic ways. I just channeled the word rituals. Give me something on the Six of Wands. Yeah. And now they hate what they've lived with this Ten of Wands energy, clarifying the Six of Wands. It's like everything that they've exposed themselves to by way of decisions and choices, the life that they lived in general, they just hate it now. They feel like they never lived. That's why they're so depressed. Apart from the physical health, they just feel like they never lived, because when they look back at it, they don't have anyone, and no one cares about them truly. There's no sincere or genuine soul in their reality. They connected to people because of the things of the world that are no longer serving them. And now they feel abandoned or neglected, or they feel like they abandoned themselves or neglected themselves. They feel like they should have healed or been more healthy with their decisions and choices, or just lived a life of balance instead of overindulging. Because someone was doing too much. Like, this was someone like I'm seeing many nights of orgies and threesomes with women they don't even know, with men they don't even know. Take it out applies for whoever this is in your reality and life and world. But someone was really prone to just anything. When I tell you anything goes when it comes to this person, anything. If this friend says we snorting this, they would not think twice about it. They wouldn't say, "Oh no, please put that down," right? "Oh no, bring more." This was that type of person. They would be where no one, when someone is like at every place where is known for like sin or sin activities, or just indulgence of sin, like intentional sinning, more like just like, let's just do whatever. Like, I'm seeing someone rip Bible scriptures during sexual intercourse with all these people all at once, just chanting all sorts of things, burning it at that, feeling powerful while doing it. They would be drinking the blood of the people they slept with. Eight of Cups. Clarify this Eight of Cups. Y'all, this is not like a one night stand type of energy. This is like 15 people, like all of them from different backgrounds. This one is Hispanic, this one is Latina, this one is, brown skin girl, this one, Indian. Like, someone had a taste for blood for different people of different backgrounds, and they would surrender themselves. These people that they would sleep with would surrender themselves to this person by way of letting them do whatever they want to them. That's why they didn't mind giving this person their blood. This person could be like, They had those instruments you use to draw blood, like when they sleep with these people. Like I'm seeing 15 people in a room, and this is just one night. The next night, who knows? They might say 9 by way of just thinking, you know what, maybe not too much tonight. And then the next day, they might hit the strip club and pick out the fattest ass and the smallest ass to see does it what it do. But we have the 8 of swords here and the Knight of Wands reversed. Someone was addicted to throwing in a circle with anything walking. If it appeased their animalistic ways, they would just surrender it. Like, yeah, like if even if they see just a random person that they just drawn to them and they wonder how their blood tastes, like they will be like, yo, let's, hey, you wanna, have fun, but the fun turns into something else. This would be the type of person that, in my language, but utholakala la kuyenzakala manyala khona. Utholakala la kuyenzakala manyala khona. So wherever just filth happens, they're there. They lived for that. If we thrown in a circle and the room smells like death of throwing in a circle because they've been doing it over and over with everybody, I'm seeing feces. Whew, this was a type of person that, beloved, they were very, they have fetishes, like a fetish, many fetishes. So with the white girl, they would love to hear the moans. With the brown skin girl, they would love the feces on their face. With the Hispanic girl, they would love the screams. With the Latina, they would love the shape of the ass. You know what I'm saying? And if this is a feminine, flip it. They the size of this one's body and this one's veins and how they look through. Damn, you look like I'm about to get some good dosage right now. I'm about to drink you. They just all that. Yeah. So this person has a voodoo doll of you. Let's come back to what actually has to do with you here. Because with this 10 of swords reversed to the judgment, this person has a voodoo doll of you. This voodoo doll of you is needled down with all types of things. So they like the there's bodily fluids of themselves that they attach with the needles that they stab this voodoo doll with, right? Chanting all sorts of things, burying it sometimes, tying it, burning this, all of that. And there might be graveyard dirt involved, there's obviously blood involved. Like I said, bodily fluids, hair, like I said, bodily fluids, feces, all that, all of that. I don't know, man. This is just nasty. I don't know why I'm reading this, like, but you know what? This is the energy. This is the energy for the day. So yeah, this person, I've read very nasty energy, but this is the nastiest energy I've ever read. Like, filthiest energy I've ever tapped into in my whole entire career. Imagine someone ripping Bible scriptures and then chanting them while busy with throwing in a circle with like this one and that one and this one, and instructing this one and that one and this one to do different things. You scream, you moan, you shake this, you like this voodoo doll, is embarrassing this person because it's not working on you. This voodoo doll, like this person has it in some form of jar that has liquid like water or urine or water and urine. This could be ocean water or specifically river water or beach water. It's not water from a tap. Like they travel to get this water, and they also travel to some voodoo priest or priestess for the doll. They went to someone who's well known or best known or specializes a professional in that field. So you were meant to come to them. You were meant to surrender yourself to them. You were meant to let yourself go for them. That was the purpose of this voodoo doll. You were just meant to like surrender and just like when you see them, you just forget yourself and just let them take over you. Or they were meant to just be your God, I guess. We have the Five of Wands here. This voodoo doll is fighting back because it doesn't even like your energy. The reason it doesn't like your energy is because you're of the light, and it's a very impure voodoo doll. It has no association with your energy or spirit. It can't get into you. It can't infiltrate your soul. Like you're from a different frequency. You're from a different wavelength. You're from a different vibration. It just doesn't resonate with you. Even if it was working, it just wouldn't work on you. There's just a shield. Your energy is a shield, or your aura, right? And the ancestors, by way of those that walk with you, would never put you in a predicament where you fall into something like this. This person was seeing an opportunity in you because of something that they wanted out of the situation with you. They were very opportunistic. They were very strategic, like very calculated with this, or they thought, right? Or so it seemed. But now this voodoo doll, like it has disappeared. It went into the same water that it was trapped in by way of whatever jar. I'm seeing like a big jar that had this voodoo doll, and whatever the fluid was in, whatever the fluid came from, it went back there, and it will never return. So if they got the fluid, the waters from a river, an ocean, a lake, a beach, the doll went into that lake, into that river, into that ocean, into that beach, and will never return. It sees no purpose in its existence. Like it just doesn't care, because it knows there's nothing it can do to you anyway. There's no harm. Even if they prick it and maybe at least you bleed a little bit. No, like the voodoo doll knows that it will not be able to do anything to you. Like the spirit in it, it has no association with anything that has to do with you. There is no possibility of it happening, and it just lost interest. Like it fell in love with the water it was put in, and it just went in there. It has no resentment against the person that even conjured it. It doesn't care. It just wants to be left alone. That's why I'm saying this person is embarrassed now. They're humiliated and ashamed because now they did all of this for nothing. You were meant to be with them right now. Like you were meant to just have left all of what you were living alone, and just now you are someone's wife, someone's husband, but by way of control and manipulation, like a puppet. Like someone was just pulling the strings, like sit, eat, all of that. That's what they wanted. They didn't want a human being by their side by way of love. They just wanted a puppet. That's it. This was your message from the divine. I thank you so much for your time, beloved. This was a seer's world. Okay. To those keen or interested in becoming Patreon members, on my Patreon, I offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love, as well as ancestral lineage readings. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career, and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer one-on-one sessions slash life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly, and you can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. Okay? I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.